Okay, in this video, I want to go through for the door and create kind of an animation blueprint. So we're going to go to geometry. Actually, no, we need to go to our blueprint here. We want to create an animation blueprint. So that is animation blueprint, and select our door skeleton. Let's give this one a name of A, B for animation blueprint, or anim BP underscore door. Open that on up. And we obviously need a state machine. So for the state machine, right click, add a new state machine, plug it in, open that up, and we're just going to add a new state. Let's call this one open close. Now inside of here, we want to also create a new animation. So where we have our geometry, I'm going to actually move this. So drag the animation blueprint to the door folder. And in here, I want to create, on our animation, a blend space 1D for the door skeleton. So this one to be BS 1D underscore door. Open that up. Door open is going to be on the far right, and door close is going to be on the left. So we obviously have an issue with kind of the animation playing. So we're not necessarily going to be having animations. Instead, we're going to be having kind of states, I guess is a way to put it. So if we open up the door open, we need to, we want to copy this closed kind of frame. So we can right click. Let's actually duplicate just to be safe. So I'm going to duplicate the door open. Control W. Let's do this A underscore close position. Move it all the way closed. Right click. And we're going to remove from frame 0 to frame, let's do frame 4 to frame 15. And then remove from frames, we remove all the frames. Frame 2 to frame 5. Remove from frame 1 to frame 2. So we just have this, and that's all we need. So now we can save it. So we look at close, plays, we look at close position, and this is the only animation we have. It does not actually move. So here's our closed. Now we want to have the same thing for the door open. So we're going to Control W, A underscore open position. Open that on up. Go all the way open. And we're going to remove from frame 0 to frame 14. And that gives us just the fully open position. So we can save that. Open up the blend space. We're going to replace the open and the close. So the open position to open and close position to closed. So now, as you can see, we can kind of go back and forth. So here's our close, here's our open. So we have 0 to 100. I want to change this just from a rate of 0 to 1. So asset decals, horizontal axis, let's call this one open percentage. And set the max value to be 1. We can save that. And in our open close thingy, we're going to drag in our blend space and link it up. So now we need to calculate the open percentage. So what we're going to do is have a variable. It's going to be a float. We're going to call it open percent. Change the type to float. And just do a get and plug it in. So that way, if we give this a default value, let's say we have it set to 0.5, it's open halfway. If we set it to 1, it's open all the way. So that's going to control our door. Now in the event graph, what we want to do is we can do this in begin play, actually. So event blueprint begin play. We're going to go ahead and get our door. So we're going to use try get pawn owner. We're going to cast it to our door class, which is, that is from pawns. So what is it? How do we get the mesh? Get owning actor, maybe? Then we cast it. We cast to door. So we're going to cast to door. And from here, I want to check it. So I'm going to do a print string. and confirm that we are in fact getting the door as intended. So when I hit play now, let me save all to make sure. Okay, it does not seem, oh yeah, that's right, it would probably help if we actually set it. So we're going to edit blueprint, edit it, and over here, let's see, click on the mesh. Under the animation class, we're going to select NMBP underscore door, compile save, and now we can play. So there we go. It is getting the correct door, so we know we're good to go there. What we have to do now is just set the door. So new variable, let's call it door. It's going to be of the type door. So door object reference. Set it like so. And then in here, we do a get, do a valid check just to confirm. And from here, we can drag off and we'll have a function that's blueprint callable that we will use to get the door weight. So inside of door.h, let's go ahead and create a public function. It's going to return a float. So not a weight. Sorry, let's make it return an open percentage. So get open percentage. And what we want to pass into this, or sorry, we don't want to pass anything into it. We just want it to return a float. So we're going to change these names as well because we don't necessarily want it to be open. Instead, we want to just set the weight. So now we want to create a variable that contains the weight. So we're just going to simply have a float, and let's do open percentage. Sorry, I misspoke. So this function is going to get changed. We're going to pass in the weight. Then inside of it, we're going to calculate how much the door should be open. So we're going to make it return the open percentage. That's all it's going to do. We're going to make it a U function because it's going to be blueprint callable. I'm going to give it a category of escape room door. I just realized I did a comma or semicolon after the U property. Don't do that. Okay, so we have our U property or U function there to get the percentage. Now I want to make a small change here. So we're going to change this one to set door weight, I guess. Or set door percentage. That's a good enough name. So we'll change open to set door percentage. Then we have to change it where we call it. And for this, I'm just going to set it to 1. So when we overlap, we'll just have, for testing, we'll make it open all the way. And when we leave it, we'll make it close all the way. So that's going to be kind of our test. So inside of set door percentage, what we're going to want to do is we actually need to set the percentage to be replicated. But for now, we're going to set the set door percentage. No. What do we call it? Open percentage to equal the weight. Again, this is just temporary. So when we walk in the trigger box, we set the door percentage to 1. When we exit it, we set it to 0. So that will translate to the get open percentage function that we're going to call. That returns open percentage. Now, open percentage is just going to be 1 or 0 for the time being, but we need to replicate it so that way other clients can see the door as it opens and closes. So we're going to do rep lifetime for open percentage, in which case we need to replicate. So we're going to do U property and make it replicated for open percentage. We don't need to do any sort of event or anything like that. It'll just be handled by itself. So now that we have all that, let's go ahead and save our project, recompile and launch it. Okay, let's reopen the assets. Go to our animate blueprint. And for our door, let's do get open percentage. And we're going to set that to our open percent variable. So now let's see what happens. So the door is currently closed. I walk into it. The door snaps open, close again, and it snaps closed. So that's working. Perfect. So as you can see, it's snappy. So obviously we're going to probably want to interpolate for open percentage. So that'll be something we're going to want to do just to begin with. But for the time being, that is good to go. We know that it's working. We know that's set up. So all we have to do is just figure out a way to add weight to the door itself. So if you click on this item here, for example, then the mesh, which is our root, come down here to physics. At least I think it's in physics. What is it for weight? There should be something anyways in here for weight, but I could be wrong on that one. I'll figure it out later. Anyways, I'm not too concerned about it for the time being, but we're probably going to try to use the default weight that comes within the actors. I'm pretty sure there is one. Let me check this guy. Check skeletal meshes. So, yeah, it's just somewhere else. I just got to find it. Anyhow, we now have our box mesh set up and working. So in the next video, we'll probably add some interpolation to smooth out the door opening and closing. So it's not just this snap open and close like that. We'll just make it kind of lerp. Anyhow, that's going to be all for this video. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon down in the description below. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to join my Discord and I'll help you out. And more information on the Patreon, we have a Team Deathmatch series just for Patrons only, where we cover, obviously, Team Deathmatch from the ground up with Unreal Engine and C++. Have a couple extra features like weapon customization, custom spawning, and all that, as well as you get early access to my videos, such as, well, this one. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video.